I thought I would take this period of downtime between the end of Season 3 and the release of Season 4 to talk about a game that isn't Battlefield 6. I looked at my YouTube channel the other day and I realized I haven't talked about another game in a shocking amount of time. And there are some interesting upcoming releases that I feel like should be mentioned on this channel, and I want to talk about some of the games I'm interested in adding to the channel, or at the very least, during the live stream, maybe with some friends. So in this video, we're going to talk about games like The Finals, Modern Warfare 4, War Dogs, and how it seems like modern FPS games are just running out of ideas. So without further ado, if you enjoy this video where we don't talk about Battlefield 6, be sure to hit the like button, hit the sub button, and let me know if you want more videos like this and if you want any videos on the games that I mention. First, I'll just get some of the games that are existing out of the way first. I really want to revisit The Finals. People have been telling me they have updated that game a ton and that it is really, really great. It doesn't really get that much attention, to be completely honest with you, or at least not in this specific circle that I'm in, and I do look around for this sort of stuff, and The Finals is having a bit of a resurgence. People seem to be mentioning it a little bit more on social media and in my comment section, so be sure to let me know if you want to see me play that game again. When I played it a couple of years ago, I can't even believe it's been that long, I really enjoyed the game. I thought it was good, and to be perfectly honest with you, it's probably one of the best FPS games on the market right now, so I think it certainly deserves a revisit. In terms of upcoming releases, I have seen a lot of people wondering about my thoughts regarding the new Call of Duty, and, I mean, I guess you could read my mind when it comes to this stuff. Guys, if you didn't tell me Modern Warfare 4 was a different Call of Duty, I would have told you it's Modern Warfare 2019. I've talked about Call of Duty many times on the channel. Typically, I play the beta and then never play it again because that's just how COD games have gone for the past 7 years with me at this point. They're kind of rehashing the exact same thing they've released since 2019 with no changes to the major issues regarding that particular franchise. You know, cheaters and the matchmaking and aim assist and all this sort of shit. I'm sorry, but I just don't ever see it changing. Regarding Modern Warfare 4, the game looks like a modern Call of Duty game, you know? They had the trailer where they tried to show off some weird smoke effects for the weapons. And then they showed, like, depth of field. And honestly, it looked pretty ass. But then I saw some pretty decent players play the game, and the gameplay looked good. But my gut tells me that's just a vicious trap. So when it comes to Call of Duty, I don't even fucking know at this point, ladies and gentlemen. It hurts me to say that because I really enjoyed playing some of the older Call of Duty releases, and I would love, more than anything, to have another game to consistently cover on the channel. But I just think Call of Duty is pretty much the poster child for a franchise falling victim to greed and like modern gaming tendencies. I just think they don't even try anymore. I just think these games are purely released to farm as much money as possible, and there's very little consideration regarding anything anymore. I mean, they didn't even really try to make the games look any different. So when it comes to Modern Warfare 4, I think you can expect me to play the beta, and I'll probably stream it and make my first impressions video, and anything past that, no promises, ladies and gentlemen. I do hope the game wins me over, but I have my doubts. Moving on to talking about War Dogs, they're starting to ramp up some of their developer blogs and telling us information about the game. I haven't played the game yet, but what I can say is the messaging and the way they're being so deliberate regarding their direction and unapologetic regarding it, I do respect that, and in my heart, I want to reward that. But when it comes to the type of game War Dogs is, I don't see myself really enjoying playing it. It's just not one of those games that screams Enders to me, you know? Like, I like faster-paced video games, I always have. And when I watch other people play War Dogs, it just looks very slow. In fact, without even playing it, I'm pretty much ready to say that it isn't in between Battlefield and a milsim at all. It's much more towards the milsim side of things, at least from an outside visual perspective, without being able to spawn on squad mates, snipers being one-shot kill, the amount of time it takes to get from point A to point B, the size of the map, all these sorts of things. It kind of reminds me of Arma, but maybe a more accessible version of that. When it comes to whether or not I will try War Dogs, I absolutely will. I will likely stream it whenever they have a beta or some sort of, non-NDA early access. I already know how I'm going to approach it in my head. I mean, the developers themselves state, we're not making this game for everyone. So I'm just going to go into it with a clean mind, and I'm just going to play the game for what it is. And if I end up not liking it, I'm just going to say, this isn't for me. I don't really like it personally, but then I'll probably just tell people, like, who I think would enjoy this. I definitely think War Dogs is trying to fill a gap in the market, and I think there actually is a ton of interest for that particular gap. The last game I want to talk about is a game that I don't think is released, and it is a game that is vastly different than any of these games that I just mentioned, and it is Deadlock. Deadlock is probably the game that I'm most interested in. It just looks so fucking smooth. I have played it a little bit with friends off stream, and it's just such a breath of fresh air, in my opinion. I think it's innovative. I think it's interesting. I think it's incredibly competitive and difficult, and it has just a grand canyon of skills to develop. But the thing that I'm really struggling with is I run a fucking Battlefield channel, and Deadlock to the Battlefield community is like going to be showing a baby a differential equation. I just don't anticipate there being a lot of interest from my current community regarding Deadlock gameplay. So I'm thinking I probably don't cover it on YouTube. I would probably just stream the game. But when it comes to up-and-coming titles, Deadlock for me is like the shining light in the darkness. It takes a shit ton of skill. It's super well made. It has a serious, a very well-organized developer behind it. There's a ton of competitive interest, a ton of depth, and as far as I'm aware, it's going to be the first game of its kind. So I think that's incredibly unique in today's market, where I feel as though a lot of these games are just rehashes of games that have already failed in the past. It's really unfortunate, but you can kind of predict whether or not a game is going to die from the release of the trailer nowadays. A key example of this, or actually a few, Splitgate 2 and Marathon. I don't think any of those games had a chance even from the get-go. And it's not fair, right? I'm not saying they deserve it. I'm just saying I think it's a vicious cycle nowadays with game releases. Your game has that giant high, and then suddenly everyone fucking leaves, and it never recovers. It even happened to Arc Raiders. And Arc Raiders, I've played the game before. I did a sponsored video, but, obviously my thoughts right now are not sponsored. Dude, Arc Raiders was a solid, very well made, extremely smooth, utterly crazily popular game, and I guess the studio just kind of fumbled a little bit and all the interest left. That's fucking tough. So that's about going to do it for this video, guys. Let me know if there are other games that I just don't know about that you guys would like to see me play in the comment section. And if you made it to this point in this particular video, you're a fucking G. And I really appreciate that. So if you enjoy the content, be sure to hit the like button, hit the sub button, engage in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think. And I will see you guys in the next video and hopefully the next stream. I stream every single day. All links are in the description.